Okay, dear participants, we are really wish you all welcome on GeCCo board, and we are really glad to see you here on the 5th Global E-Collaboration Competition. So my name is Kate, and I am from really cold and snowy Moscow, Russia, and I'm a master of ceremony. And Gundars, tell something about you.
And my name is Gundars Strazdins, and I come from not that less snowy and cold place called Riga in Latvia, and I'm also the other master of ceremony, and I think both of us will be the faces of this competition for the next 24 hours, and we will entertain you for some time here. Okay, the program will be the following. This is the opening ceremony, and we will, first of all, we will have some keynote speeches, some speeches from the organizers, some speeches for people that are involved in the competition, and we will also explain you what is this competition, what will happen during these 24 hours, and essentially for you to understand what's going to be on. And now I will switch on my presentation, and please write in the chat box if you actually see it, like in a moment. Like, do you see it now? Kate, do they see the presentation?
Yes.
Okay, but I think, yeah, you should see something like a big logo. Is it? Okay, wonderful. So, welcome words from my side as well. Welcome to the GeCCo. And as Kate already told, this is the 5th edition. What's going to happen during these 24 hours? First of all, some interesting numbers regarding the GeCCo. This year we have about 20 countries participating. We have 20, not about 20 countries participating, and in total we have gathered 117 participants, which is an all-time record for the GeCCo. So for the 5th year, we have already broken the record for the number of the participants. We will spend like these next 2 days together. Well, essentially, yeah, today and tomorrow. And all the participants will solve one case study, one project management case study. We're also glad to announce we are covering like 4 continents. So we have participants from many sides of the world, and that's a nice challenge for you as well. And there are but there are 40 members from the GeCCo team that managed to make this event happen, and these people are the reason why are you here today. And for you to understand the amount of competition that you will have during the event, it is about 20 teams on. So 20 teams will compete against each other to become the winners of the GeCCo 2016 edition. Maybe you have seen these people somewhere, I hope, at one point, or you have communicated with them also at one point during the competition, but these are the people who made this event happen. So appreciate them. What's up? How everything will look like and what will happen during all these 24 hours. So we have 24 hours full of different activities. This program can be also found on the web page. So if I will later on give you all the links where you can find it and where you can follow everything along. But essentially, the agenda, the program for all these 24 hours look like this. All the times that are mentioned are London, UK time. So the general median time or the universal coordinated time. So now we are having the opening ceremony with greetings from the core team. We will have welcome speeches from Mladen and Alena. Then we will have a keynote speech from Joel. And also Eleni, the head of the jury, will explain you the competition itself. So if you have any questions regarding the competition itself, please hold them for about half an hour later. After that, you will do some work, and we will be back at 6 p.m. When you will have to submit your first results. And we will have another keynote speech from Meg Infiorati from USA. And after that, we will have a questions and answers live session for you, the participants. So if you will gather some questions regarding the competition during the next 6 hours, this will be the place for you to ask them. So questions and answers session at that point. After that, you will also have extra 6 hours to work. And after the second submission, we will have a social event that is called Midnight Toast with core team members. We will also invite you to join it, choose a drink of your choice, and we will be able to actually switch on your cameras as well, and you will be able to give a toast to the global audience. So this is a really nice socializing event in the middle of the competition. So please be prepared for that as well. After that, the night, depending on where are you located in the world, in Europe at that point it will be night. You will also do for the next 6 hours your work, and then after the third submission we will have kind of like a morning coffee or coffee session. So we will have a keynote speaker, Brian Cracknell. He will give a presentation about some interesting things as well. After Brian, you will have the last 6 hours for you to work, and after the final submission, we will have the keynote speaker, Janis Solus from Austria, and after that, we will have the closing ceremony of this competition. So we will, the project manager, Katja, will also give some thoughts and some comments and some speech on the event, and we will also inform you about the next steps, about when the award is happening and what will happen after the competition, and we will have a quick feedback session where also we will be able to switch on your microphones or read the questions and comments that you might come up with during the competition. Please be informed that for every single of these live sessions, you will have to do a separate registration. For example, for this opening ceremony, you registered. After the opening ceremony ends, the opening ceremony link will go to the outer space and will never return back. But for the next event, for example, for the keynote speaker, for the next keynote speaker, Meg Infiorati, you will have to do a separate registration. The same for Midnight Toast and the same for the other sessions as well. So you would have, if you want to participate in all of them, you would have to do 4 extra registrations later on. I will later quickly explain where you can register for that. Before we move on forward, I also want to say some words about our supporters and sponsors. Of course, this event is organized by IPMA Young Crew and supported by IPMA as well. We can also say a big thank you to the Project Practice. They are also a supporter of this event. We want to say thank you to Penny Pullen, who is giving also some nice prizes for some of the contests during the competition, which I will explain you later as well. And the Green Project Management, the authors of the case study this year. So thank you for them as well. All the information regarding the competition, all these links to the registrations for the current live sessions can be found in this link, becom.pm/GeCCo/live. If you visit the GeCCo webpage, there's a separate dedicated live section where we will always publish the next information regarding the GeCCo. So if you are lost and you do not know what's happening, go to this website and you will find it. The current information will be always there. And in the up next section in this website, you can find the next link to the next live session where you can register. So visit this website frequently in order not to miss anything at that point. Some quick shout out to our wonderful keynote speakers. We will have some really nice keynote speakers this year, 4 of them. I strongly advise you to participate in the keynote speeches because they are sharing really valuable information regarding project management. So we will have Joel Carboni, who will come on live soon. We will have Meg Infiorati. We will have Janis Solus, and we will also have Brian Cracknell. So all of these keynote speakers will be live during the live sessions during the GeCCo competition. All right, that is it for me. And now, Kate, I'm switching off the screen back to my camera, and I give the word to you.
Thank you very much, Gundars, for so nice introduction about GeCCo. So hopefully everyone right now know what is going on. And for opening speech, we are glad to invite President of IPMA Young Crew, Mladen Vukomanovic.
Yes,
So,
I'm putting Mladen now on.
Yes.
Yeah, Mladen, you should be.
Hello,
Yes, Mladen.
Hi, can you hear me?
I can hear you, but we would also fancy to see you, if it is possible.
It's not possible. I'm on the road doing a project, actually, so I'm so sorry. Hello to everyone. I'm really excited to see 20 countries, if I'm not mistaken, participating in this year's competition. I mean, the IPMA Young Crew has been evolving so good that I'm really happy and satisfied to see how it goes, especially about Gundars and Kate, how they gave their introduction. Our mission has always been to develop the competencies now in all three domains: projects, programs, and portfolios, to recognize your accomplishments in projects, programs, and portfolios, to advise you on your career, and to set the network for you to interact in. So GeCCo is basically touching base in all four of those, and especially in making a network and interacting with the global project management society. As for the 24 hours and working around the clock, I can only share you my experience of yesterday. I stayed up late until 2 a.m. and woke up at 6. So basically 4 hours of sleep to do projects, of course, and even though my week ended, I still remained busy on my project. So I wish you all of the good luck, Godspeed, and see you, if I'm not mistaken, in a month to announce the winners, right, Gundars?
That's right, exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah. So IPMA Young Crew is, I think, really the best place to be to start your career in project management. You're in good hands, and I see that the team has set up the project really good. Congratulations to all, and Godspeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mladen, for great words. And now we are ready to introduce you project owner of GeCCo competition, Alena Vejsadova from Czech Republic. For also welcome speech.
Yes, Alena, I have turned you on.
I don't need to share my screen.
Yes.
So right now you can see me and hear me, right?
We can see you and hear you very clearly.
Great. So hello everyone, I'm really excited to be here today with you because this is 5th edition of GeCCo, and I was there when it was starting, and it's always great to see that this great project is running, and there are a lot of people interested in it. I want to thank to the team because they did an amazing job. Have 20 countries on board, almost 120 participants. It's a great success. We never had such a huge numbers before. And when I was thinking what I should tell you before the competition, I was remembering that we didn't have much sleep. So I did some small research on website, what you should do in order to stay awake for 24 hours. And I found out that you have to drink a lot. And by drink, I mean water. I found information that coffee isn't that good. You can try it, whether it's better with coffee or without it. You can tell me afterwards whether it helped or not. And then I found out that it's also good to do some small exercises during that time. So you can do, for example, 10 push-ups to be more energized and don't fall asleep. Then another important thing is food. You should have small snacks that are light, not heavy meal, because after that you would feel tired and you would need to sleep. Everyone knows that, right? And there has been also advice that you shouldn't eat next to your computer because that doesn't help as well. You should also talk to someone. We cover that because you are in a Teams, you can have meetings, so you can meet them and you can have fun together. Also, you can join our sessions during the midnight or in the morning for breakfast, so you can talk with other participants as well, so don't underestimate this part. And then what is also important is how you are sitting next to your computer. When you are sitting in a straight position, it's much better than when you bend your back, because in that case you would feel more tired. And then there is the last point, which is also the most important one. You should stay positive because this is your time to enjoy GeCCo, and I hope that you will have a great time. So enjoy it. I think this is all from me.
Okay, wonderful, wonderful. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Alena. Okay, and now we are getting ready now in a moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think, thanks to Mladen and thanks to Alena for sharing their thoughts and some greetings to the participants. And we are slowly moving forward, and we are actually have come to a point through the first keynote, Joel Carboni. And Joel, we are switching on Joel as a presenter. In a moment, Joel, you should appear.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Oh, wonderful. Okay.
Wonderful. Is it possible to switch you on, your camera?
It's 7 a.m., but sure, go right ahead.
Okay.
Hold on, let me.
You can switch on your camera on yourself. Yes.
Good morning. I am here. I'm clothed at 7 a.m. So can you see my screen okay?
Yeah.
We can see it clearly. So the screen is yours and you're on.
Okay, I'm turning the video off, guys, because this is not good. Hold on. Hide my webcam. There we go. All right.
Okay, Joel, before you continue, I will quickly explain. For all the participants, you have the possibility to ask questions to Joel as well, but we will answer them at the end of Joel's presentation. So if you have the questions during the presentation, please feel free to write them in. And Joel, back to you.
All right. Well, good morning and good afternoon, everyone. I'd like to thank the GeCCo team for this opportunity to present to you this morning, or this afternoon, as the case may be. It's 7:19 my time, and I think this is the first time I've ever given a keynote after just waking up, so we'll see how this goes. And sorry for the noise back there. The case study you're going to be working on will relate to the topic I'm speaking about, and I hope this provides you some perspective and value as you take on the team challenge over the next 24 hours. For those of you who do not know me, my name is Joel Carboni, and I'm the president of IPMA US and the founder of GPM, or Green Project Management. Here's a little bit about me, and if you have any questions excuse me, on what we present today, please feel free to email me, tweet, or LinkedIn message me, and I will respond back quickly. I want to start off today by giving the textbook definition of disruption. According to Webster's dictionary, disrupt means to interrupt the normal course of order. And you can see I've listed 3 examples here. The barking dogs disrupt my sleep. The weather disrupted our travel plans. U.S. election craziness disrupted global television and Facebook enjoyment. So let's go with the third one as the example that we're going to use today and sort of put things into context a little bit. That's a little joke there, guys. The things you own or use that are considered to be the outcome of disruption, from your smartphone and its apps, which have disrupted businesses from traditional telcos to record stores, if you remember such things, to taxi dispatch and the photography industry. I want to focus on the relationship between projects, project management, and their relationship to disruption, and why project managers need to be aware of their impacts. There is also a perspective that should be taken into account. What I mean by this is that anyone born after, say, 2006, 2007 would see the iPhone or smartphones as normal, while those of us who grow up with rotary phones and landlines have adapted to change in communication tools. This is not a new concept. The evolution of humanity has coincided with the advancement of tools. Not many of us cook our dinner over campfires on a daily basis anymore. Of course, many of us wash our hair as well, so there's that. But this concept can be applied to almost everything we see and use today. For example, in cities all over the world, taxi cabs have been a staple. When you need to get somewhere quickly, don't have a car, friendly cabs have always been your best friend. However, thanks to Uber, this has all changed. As you likely already know, Uber is a service that allows people to push a button and have a ride sent to them. The drivers are regular people who use their own vehicles and get paid a percentage of the fare. Uber has disrupted the industry by offering something that's cheaper, easier, and modernized, as opposed to hailing a taxi from the sidewalk, fumbling through your pockets for a few dollars and some change, then debating over how much you're going to tip. You simply press a button on an app. All the payment takes place through an application, so you simply get in and get out. As Uber has shown, people like simplicity and personalization. If you can take a process that's dated and put a modern spin on it, some tech-savvy spin on it, you can make a big difference. And if you can do this while simultaneously making it cheaper for the consumer, your chances of being successful are dramatically increased. Airbnb is a service that allows owners to rent out their homes and apartments for short-term renters at low prices. This online platform is putting a big dent in the hotel industry, and it is just one example of how the internet is able to fuel major shifts in the balance of power. When you look at Airbnb, and also Uber for that matter, it's clear that many of today's disruptors are focusing on the social aspect of consumerism. There's something more attractive to today's consumers about purchasing a product or service from a person as opposed to a large corporate brand. Airbnb accomplishes this by connecting people to people. This peer-sharing aspect is what's allowed the company to grow so quickly. There are plenty of times when innovation will work. Improving a product's quality, lowering the price, of streamlining production will always provide viable opportunities for entering an existing market and having success. These innovative disruptors have two effects. One, they bring innovation and make life easier. Two, the impact, for example, to the taxi industry or the hotel industry, can be seen as a disbenefit, as there is a cost associated with innovation. In these examples, millions of employees have been affected, just as Kodak and Fujifilm. When you look at the mattress industry, it's an industry that's played it stale and safe. Customers generally go to a store, line a few mattresses, pick the one that feels the best, and make a purchase. And aside from maybe, say, the rise of Tempur-Pedic in the early 2000s, there hasn't been much change until Purple. Purple has designed a new mattress with a high-tech cushioning that supposedly combines the best of both worlds. Soft enough for comfort and firm enough for proper spinal alignment at an affordable price. And while the mattress itself is drawing rave reviews, it's the business model that they're using that's really creating industry shockwaves. Instead of licensing out their mattress technology to manufacturers or selling to retail stores, Purple has chosen a direct-to-consumer e-commerce model. This removes costs associated with royalties, manufacturer profits, distributor markups, wholesaler markups, retailer markups, and sales commissions. The model also adds convenience. Customers are able to purchase the mattress and try it out for 100 nights. If they don't like the mattress after a few months, the refund is issued and the mattress gets picked up. The thought of buying a mattress online is something that other industry players never thought would work. However, thanks to low prices, generous money-back guarantee, Purple has been able to overcome this stigma and to flourish. It's still too early to tell what the long-term ramifications will be for the industry, but this appears to be a major shifting point. Now, putting it in the context of projects. Oftentimes, we look at the output as the end goal. This is a narrow way of thinking and sort of outdated. We also must consider the disruption factor and what those impacts will result in long term. In this model that I'm showing you here on the screen, the output is the deliverable, or output developed by a project from a planned activity. The capability is set of project outputs required to deliver an outcome. Capabilities. The outcome is a new operational state achieved after transition of the capability into live operations. The benefit is a measurable improvement resulting from an outcome perceived as an advantage by one or more stakeholders, which contributes towards one or more organizational objectives. This benefit is the impact that could be to the organization, but also to its stakeholders. So as you see here, the project and its outputs build capabilities enable outcomes but yet trigger business changes. The realized benefits but also cause side effects and consequences, which result in disbenefits and further realize additional benefits. These benefits help to achieve one or more strategic goals and supports objectives that drive need for more change, which creates more projects. I know it's a lot to see here, but let's focus on the disbenefits. In order to increase our capacity as project managers, to encapsulate the benefits focus, we must evolve. Our historical triple constraint was built from a manufacturing model with time being Fordism, cost being Taylorism, and scope being based on the Deming model. The question to be asked is, does this fit a change or project model, or do we need to evolve with them? Now, those of you who have seen me speak before have seen this before, but I want to focus on this. I argue that yes, benefits focused must take into account the impacts from a risk and value perspective, in that, what are they? And is what we're doing creating value? As well as, what are the economic, social, and environmental impacts, and what are the processes we're using and products that are required to bring them into a usable state? This is something that project managers need to take into account, while also considering the traditional time, cost, scope aspect to drive not only quality, but also, does it perform? It is vital that projects also align with international objectives, and that disruption coincide with what is needed. In 2000, 16 years ago, 189 countries of the world came together to face the future, and what they saw was daunting. Famines, drought, wars, plagues, poverty. These things are still happening. The perennial problems of the world, not just in some faraway place, but in their own cities and towns and villages. They knew things didn't have to be this way. They knew that they had enough food to feed the world, but that it wasn't getting shared. They knew there was medicines for HIV and other diseases, but they had a huge cost factor. They knew that earthquakes and floods were inevitable, but the high death tolls were not. They also knew that billions of people worldwide shared their hope for a better future. Leaders from these countries created a plan called the Millennium Development Goals, or MDGs. This set of 8 goals imagined a future just 15 years off. They would be rid of poverty and hunger. It was a very ambitious plan. The UNDP, or United Nations Development Program, has been one of the leading organizations working to achieve the MDGs. Present in more than 170 countries and territories, we funded projects that helped fulfill these goals. We championed the goals so that people everywhere would know how to do their part, and we acted as scorekeeper, helping countries track their progress. And the progress in those 15 years was tremendous. Hunger was cut in half, extreme poverty was down almost by half, more kids got to go to school, and fewer are dying. Now these countries want to build on the many successes of the past 15 years and go further. A new set of goals, these SDGs, or Sustainable Development Goals, aim to end poverty and hunger by 2030. World leaders recognize the connection between people and planet and have set goals for the land, the oceans, and the waterways. Thousands of businesses have also adopted them in a framework to support their 169 targets. Executives will be measured by how they work with these goals and as an overarching presence which could disrupt business as usual, but also bring value and principles that may not have been part of the original focus. Here's an example. With all of what I've just said, I want to share this here right here. So the Narmada Valley Development Project is the single largest river development scheme in India. It's one of the largest hydroelectric projects in the world and will displace approximately 1.5 million people from their land in 3 states. When taking into account the disruption of 1.5 million people, can the benefits be justified? If you look at only an economic perspective, a case can be made. In the case of the Narmada Valley Development Project, thousands of families will be forced into displacement and will not be given any alternative place to live. Land that is currently recognized as being affected by the project is not being rehabilitated. Thousands of displaced families have previously been recognized as displaced and have not received compensation or rehabilitation benefits. Large-scale frauds have persisted in compensation and rehabilitation. Rehabilitation sites that have been identified by the government are inadequate for people to live, with poor water supply, broken roads, no electricity, and non-existent education and health facilities, and a series of legal violations occurred, including a violation of the Nameta Tribunal Award. Now, this is an example of disruption that project managers must take into account. Project managers are also more than order takers. I'll say that again. Project managers are more than just order takers. We are professionals and must consider the risks to the project and the communities that the project disrupts, as well as international goals we must align to and support. In the GPM P5 standard for sustainability and project management, which is available for free at greenprojectmanagement.org/P5, we set out some basic best practices to help navigate these waters. For example, when you have a project that is going to impact the community, we recommend that the project manager and sponsor as a team facilitate community support, as interests will represent various stakeholder groups that require the focus of both individuals. It's also recommended that community support be central to project acceptance if the community is a key external stakeholder group. In terms of contamination and pollution, in order to balance the needs of communities, ecosystems, and business, it is recommended that project managers identify specific legislative and regulatory requirements and standards to put in place measures to ensure the project complies and does not contaminate or pollute, and be in consideration of material and products that do not create byproducts or waste that is potential to contaminate or pollute. So, to quick recap, disruption is a way of life and can represent innovation. It can also be a negative force that if the impacts are not properly identified and planned for. Project management must think beyond the standard project lifecycle to consider the long-term impacts. As my time here today was short, I want to thank you all for your attention and wish you great luck on your competition. Thank you very much.
Okay, excellent. Okay, Joel, I will keep your screen with the presentation still on. Now, participants, you have time for some questions. We can answer 2 to 3 questions. You can ask them in the questions box. And Joel, actually, there is already one. There is already one question, and the question is the following. So, does it mean that project managers should also care about the long-term consequences of their projects, not only focus on the short-term ones?
Yes, this is absolutely critical. So we've been taught, since we started talking about, back that up. Since the time you become a project manager, start studying project management, we're taught input-output, right? This is typical PMBOK speak. Initiate, plan, execute, close, and then we're done. It is critical in the evolution of our practice that we take a long-term asset lifecycle approach to project management. Only then can we understand the actual need and benefits and work towards those. The problem is, a lot of times project sponsors don't know what to do, and they're given a mandate that you're the sponsor, and they say, okay, great, but the project manager's role is to drive the project, and their role is to ensure it comes off and realize the benefits. Unless we can help meet them in the middle and support that actual implementation and adoption, then we have to take that sort of approach. This way we can ensure that what we're doing actually creates value and isn't just being handed off and hopefully put into production. I hope that makes sense. I haven't had a whole lot of coffee today, so bear with me.
All right, finished? Did you finish the question? The answer?
Are you satisfied with the answer?
Okay, got it. Can you show people how to get in touch with you? What are the contacts?
Yes. So, let's see here. So my email address is joel.carboni@ipma-usa.org. I'm on LinkedIn, and you can tweet me at Joel Carboni.
Okay, and for example, there's also an interesting question, like, okay, I'm a project manager, let's say, in a company, and what should I do if the company management kind of like does not care about these things, about sustainability and long-term consequences in the project? How the project, what should the project manager essentially do? What would you recommend?
Well, first of all, that organization probably won't be in business very long because this is becoming the new norm. And I don't know of any company who doesn't want to be more efficient and make more money. If that is the case for your company, find a new job. To further the point, if you're able to show value in the project and to demonstrate how it will benefit the project, then of course your sponsor will support it. No one wants to create waste and not be profitable. And it's been stated by actually a Nobel laureate that every dollar that's contributed to the SDGs yields a $15 return. And I can find the link and send that to you all if you'd like, but this has been well documented. So as project managers, it's quite easy to build a business case to support this kind of thinking.
Okay, and kind of like how far the project manager should be responsible for sustainable issues in the project, or let's say, how do you divide the responsibility among the project owner and project manager about these things?
So we recommend that the project sponsor and project manager be set up as partners, because it's interesting that for the longest time, project managers have sort of been down on the food chain as more like order takers or stormtroopers, and it should be. Sorry, you can hear my kids waking up. I apologize. It should be that the project sponsor and project manager are partners, and that there's a clear handoff, and the project manager's role is to ensure that the benefits can be realized, and that the asset or product can be put into production, and works with the business to ensure that that's able to happen. Otherwise, we're just handing off an asset and saying, see you later, next project, please. But we have to take it one step further to ensure it's actually creating benefits.
Okay. Now we have some more questions in, and I think we still have a minute or two time to do that. Well, the question is the partnership between project manager and the sponsor the biggest challenge for the project manager? How challenging it should be?
I don't know if it's a bigger challenge, but it definitely is a challenge. And with that being said, oftentimes project sponsors don't have training. They don't know what it takes to be a sponsor. And so one thing you can do to help them is to provide them with the GAP standard for project sponsorship. It's free. It's on the GAP's websites, globalpmstandards.org. It's phenomenal. It's only like 7 pages long, but helping project sponsors support you is a great way to get the project off on the right foot.
Okay, and kind of like interesting question. There are obvious differences between the markets. Yeah, some markets are more developed, some are not that much developed, and there are some markets that are more like focused on the cost issues, not that much like a sustainability issues. And for example, if I happen to be a project manager in an environment where the cost is the driving force, how do I, let's say, push these sustainable ideas forward?
There's a misconception that sustainability costs more. And you have to take a look at what is cost. And when you're taking a long-term approach, the cost is going to be less because there'll be less rework, there'll be a greater market penetration, and a greater ability to penetrate new markets. If you want to keep a small market focus, then maybe that is the case. But I don't know of any company that doesn't want to grow in their market share. I mean, for example, Uber didn't consider just the U.S. market. They launched and it became a global phenomenon in just a very short time. The App Store is not country specific. It goes all over the world. So if you're thinking about products and services, you can literally go anywhere nowadays because of globalization.
Okay. We have quite a lot of questions kind of like rolled in, but we are running out of time. So any other ones, if any of the questions were not answered, feel free to contact Joel and you can ask him the questions as well. And I think that Joel is also very welcoming on answering answering any emails or messages you are writing to him. So feel free to contact Joel in order to get some answers to your questions. Joel, did you want to say something?
No, thank you very much for your time. And yes, please send me the questions. I'm happy to answer.
Okay, and now we are switching you off at this exact moment. Okay, Kate, the word for you.
Yes, thank you very much. Joel, thank you a lot for the nice presentation. I hope everyone starts to understand a bit what is green project management approach. And our next speaker is really very important for all of us and for you and for participants. She's the head of jury committee, civil engineer and certified project manager, Eleni Tsechilidou from Greece. So Eleni, you're a presenter, it's your turn.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
Oh, wonderful. Hello, we can see you and hear you.
Okay, good.
Do you need your screen on?
No, I think that's okay.
We can see your screen.
Oh, that's my text.
Yes, you can.
Is it okay now?
Yeah, it is okay.
Now it's great.
Okay. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, my dear young crewers, wherever you are. I am Elena Tsechilidou, and I've been involved in GeCCo since 2013 as a project manager, keynote speaker, and as a member of the jury. This year, I have the honor to be the head of the jury for the IPMA Young Crew Global E-Collaboration Competition. What I've never done, at least so far, was to become a GeCCo participant and live the real GeCCo experience. So what is so special about GeCCo? If project management is your passion, if you enjoy collaborating in a multinational, multicultural team, and you want to try this collaboration in a 100% virtual environment, this is the place and the time to be. During the next 24 hours, you are asked to work on a case study and answer to 8 jury questions. The first 4 questions are about your GeCCo team. We want you to show us how you managed to organize your work and become a team in these 24 hours. How did you communicate? How did you structure your work? How did you overcome challenges? We want to see the tools and techniques you used and understand what happened behind your computer screens during the competition. The next 4 questions are about the case study you're given. This year's project is a real-life, currently ongoing project, and we want to see how you will use your knowledge, experience, as well as creativity, and how you will apply different project management methods, tools, and practices to come up with your solution. There will be 4 submission points during the competition, 1 every 6 hours. We want you to submit your answers to all of the questions at all the submission points, even if you just sent us a draft, incomplete version of your answer. I repeat, we expect you to submit answers to all of the questions at all 4 of the submission points. You will, of course, have the opportunity to continue your work and send us new, updated versions at the next submission point. This is important for the jury because this way we can understand more about the way that you have worked and follow your progress. And now, some last-minute tips and hints. First of all, as I mentioned, this is a real project, so you will find a lot of information about it online. You can, of course, Google it and use all of the information that you will find, but be careful not to spend too much time or get too stressed about finding everything that is available out there. Feel free to use whatever tool you feel comfortable with. There are no rules regarding your creativity or the way that you decide to manage your project. Anything from social media, online tools for coordinating time in different time zones, to classical project management tools can be an excellent choice, as long as you find a way to select the right one for you and make sure you can document it correctly for the jury. Make sure you know who your team is and make sure you make the best out of it. Minutes before you start, I want to give you all our best wishes for the competition. I know you will enjoy it, and I hope you will make new friends, and of course, that you will have the opportunity to learn something new. Good luck.
Okay.
Elena, thank you very much for your words and explanation. It's really perfect. And I think it's really important for all team members. So if you have any questions, feel free to ask us and Eleni. And now, yeah, so we have one question. Yeah, already. So the question is it up to us then to choose at which submission point we send a final answer and stop?
We consider that the final answers are the answers that we receive at the last submission point. Whatever you sent us at the last submission point is considered to be your complete answer. You may decide to send it something at the first 6 hours and then completely change it. That's perfectly fine. You may have done very little for one question in the first submission and then work on this question later on. This is also fine. What we want to see is the progress of your work. Why do you change? Why do you decide to work more on one topic at this point or later on? How did you decide to make all of these changes? We want to see, to use these submission points to understand better how you were working and how you were collaborating as a team.
Excellent. Okay. And other question also rolled in.
Yeah, one more question. How are we gonna know is it time to stop to investigate the problem?
You mean information that you will find online?
Well,
I understand the question.
I believe it is something to do with the team itself, kind of like you will receive the case study and everything will be written there, and it's up to you to decide at what point you have to stop thinking about one point or another point.
Yes, I mean, this is something that you will also see. You have 24 hours. You do not have 6 months, and you only have a specific number of people in your team. So you have to make sure that you make the best use of the team that you have and of your time. How you're going to decide that and how you're going to decide that, okay, this is good enough. Let's say, let's move on to the next point. This is up to you. And this is something that will develop very naturally while you start working on your case study. And at the end of everything, when the 24 hours are over, I suppose that whatever opportunity you had to keep working will be over. So keep that in mind as well.
All right.
Okay, yeah, and we have one more question, but it's more about organizational part. We will receive all questions at once. Yes, we already, I must say, sent the case study to all of you, and all questions are there inside. Am I right, Eleni?
Yes, yes. You will receive all of the questions in the same document as the case study. So you will have the opportunity to read them and study them and decide how you structure your work throughout the whole time.
Okay, and the last question, I might say, what happens if one of the members in my team seems to quit his attendance?
Well, no, you're a project manager. Figure it out.
Exactly. Okay.
So,
yeah. Thanks, Eleni.
Thank you very much.
Okay, good luck to all of you from all of the jury team.
Okay.
Okay.
And we are moving forward. And so I must say that last part of our opening ceremony, but not the final. So as a last year participant and member of the winning team, I think that instructions of head of the jury team is really very, very important for you to understand how it's better to organize your work and what to present in each submission. So, and now winner will not be only the one. We have some more contests during the competition with Gundars. Please,
Yeah.
please tell us.
Okay. First of all, do you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, yes, GeCCo as a whole 24-hour competition is like the main thing you have to do, but we have thought of some smaller contests within the GeCCo you can participate in and win some valuable prizes. And essentially, we have like two smaller contests happening. One is called the most active team on social media, and the other one is a little creative contest. We will publish the information about these contests on the GeCCo event and GeCCo Facebook page as well and homepage as well, so you will be able to find information about them there. But here I will tell you some quick recap of both contests. The first one is the most active team on social media. Essentially, if you want to participate in this contest and want to win a prize, what should you do? First of all, you as a team make up about 5 pieces of content. Either it's a collage of pictures, either it's a piece of video, GIF animation, like anything. Publish them on Facebook. Tag in the GeCCo page, so we can find out your submissions, and also add a hashtag with your team name. Essentially, make at least 5 pieces of content, publish them on Facebook, tag in GeCCo, and add a hashtag with your team name. And those teams who will be the most active and will do, let's say, not only the most amount of the content, but also the highest quality amount of the content, we will regard as the winners and will be awarded during the award ceremony after 1 month. So this is one extra thing you can do while you are doing your case studies, kind of like trying to be the most active team on social media. And we really appreciate if teams do that. Last year we also had many submissions, and we are happy to reshare them also in our social media channels as well. So most active social media team. Is your team the most active one? I hope so. So this is the first contest you can participate in. The second thing is a bit of a creative contest for individual participants. If you are a bit of a creative soul and maybe feel some artistic skills in you as well, you can participate in this one. Essentially, what you have to do, you know that there are lots of like wires and cords around our tables, and sometimes they juggle up and make some interesting looking shapes and pictures, and maybe you can try to find out what is it. So you can come up with either a piece of art or sculpture or some kind of like drawing by using a cord of your mouse, of internet cable, or anything that you have. Make a picture of it, publish it on the GeCCo Facebook page. So in GeCCo Facebook page, go there in and publish. It will appear on our guests on this section for the guests, and tag in the GeCCo page, and also add the hashtag GeCCo create. So then after the competition will end during the award ceremony, we as an organizers will choose and award the up to 5 best artistic creations regarding the cords and the wires. So if you feel a bit artistic, you can also participate in this contest as well. So use this opportunity. Now, 2 contests during the GeCCo competition. As I told previously, all the information regarding the event will be published on the GeCCo Facebook page in the live section, become.pm/gecko/live. All the information will be there. For example, now we will soon finish the opening ceremony, and the link to the next live session, to the next keynote speaker, will appear shortly. So you will be able to register there. Also, you have already received the case study in your emails, so essentially you can start working like from now. All the information has been sent to you, and in case you have any questions during the competition and you want to get in contact with the organizers, feel free to use this email address for any questions: gecco.case@gmail.com. So this is the official email address you should use to get in contact with the organizers. We, during these 24 hours, are also all the time behind you and watching and checking all the communication channels. So we will do our best to respond as quickly as possible, usually within minutes, if not faster. So in case of any questions, contact us through this email address. Kate, did you want to say something?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm ready to wish you good luck for the case, and see you soon at the first submission. 6 p.m. GMT.
Okay, so yes, good luck and see you after 5 hours. At this point, we can officially say that the opening ceremony has ended. I hope you enjoyed it. You can start working now and see you in already like about 5 hours. All the links, all the information will be published on the webpage. Okay, see ya.
See you. Bye.
See ya. Bye. Thank you for your attendance.